Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa, what happened?
She missed it.
Yeah?
Annalisa? Are you here?
Every time you say that, the pipes turn on.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. So I haven't posted a video in a hot minute. I've been filming, I just don't like the outcome of any of the videos that I filmed. None of them I wanted to upload. So I've just kind of been taking a break and hoping that something would fall into my lap for inspiration, and it fell. About 2 weekends ago, my husband and I went to Chattanooga for a wedding, and we waited until the last minute to book a hotel room. So I was looking and I found one of the hotels that was in walking distance from the reception that we were going to be at, and it was the Reed Hotel in Chattanooga. We walk in, and if I keep looking over to my computer, I have all my notes and research that I've taken, so if I look over here, I'm referencing. So we walk into this hotel, and it's beautiful, and it's almost like it takes you back into time. It had like a very 1920s feel. Like they had, you know, the older style music. They had like a vintage chandelier. Everything looked very vintage, and it was beautiful. But I looked to my husband the second we walked in, and I was like,
yeah, this hotel's haunted.
Just because I had a weird feeling about it. So we get into our room, and the bellhop brings our bags in, and he's given us the rundown of places nearby, you know, this and that. And he says, well, if you don't have any more questions for me. And I said, I have a question. Is this hotel haunted? And he just looked at me and he was like,
yeah.
It's one of the most haunted places in America. So basically he said that there was a brutal murder that happened in one of the rooms, room 311, and that if we would be interested the following day, they would take us up there. A little bit of history about the hotel. The building itself was built in 1847, and it was called the Crutchfield House, and it was still a hotel. That's what it was used for. And it burned down in 1867. But when they rebuilt it, from what I was told, it was used as a makeshift hospital during the Civil War. This is because the railways were right in front of what is now the hotel. So they would transport wounded or, you know, dead soldiers to the hospital, where, you know, many of them would eventually die. It was eventually turned into the Reed House. And this is where our story begins. So in room 311, it is alleged that a woman by the name of Annalisa Netherly was found brutally murdered in the bathtub of the room she was staying at. She was found by housekeeping, and her throat had been so badly slit that she was almost to the point of decapitation. There's a few different theories floating around the internet, and based on what guides were telling me that happened to her, some say that she was found out by a jealous ex-lover, perhaps her husband. Another theory is that she was a lady of the night. I get like the basic rundown of the story off my Google search, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we need to go check out this room. Like, what other opportunity do we have to go, you know, see a ghost? So we ended up going out, we called an Uber from the hotel and we spent the day doing, you know, stuff in Chattanooga before the wedding. And I get in our Uber and, you know, making small talk. And I said, so what do you know about the Reed Hotel hauntings? And she turns back and she looks at me and she said,
oh yeah, room 311 is haunted.
She told me that her ex-boyfriend stayed in the room with a buddy of his and they didn't even make it through the night. She said that they checked out and they had to leave because it was just, everything was too weird. They said they felt the bed shaking, water was running on and off, all this crazy stuff. Day rolls around and we decide to go check out room 311. Something interesting about this is you don't have to pay to do the tour and you don't even have to be staying at the hotel, which is interesting because if you had to pay to do it, I could see where they would be fabricating this story to, you know, gain revenue. You know, people would pay to go see this room. But it was completely, you know, like I said, you don't even have to be a guest. We walked up to the front and we were like, hey, we want to see room 311. Is that possible? And they called one of the employees and we went up. One thing about the room is obviously a hotel undergoes a ton of renovations over time, and people would stay in room 311 and they had so many complaints about the room. A lot of people checked out, like I said, in the middle of the night. So what they did was they redid the entire room to restore it back to what it would have looked like in 1920 to make Annalisa more comfortable in her surroundings. Because if she's still there and she can't pass on, they wanted her to be familiar with everything that was in the room. So everything was restored. And I have video, I'll put a video in showing the entire room.
They didn't have like the old door.
No.
Like I said, it's just, they restored it back to the way it was when she stayed there. So anyway, we go into the room and I'm super excited. I've never been one to like want to go be haunted or see a haunted room. I'm totally a wimp. So I really don't know what came over me. I just really wanted to see this room. So we walk in and it's just, and I don't know if it's just because of the stories or the buildup, but it felt heavy. And I don't know how to explain it. It just, the whole room felt heavy. And I didn't feel any sort of like bad presence. I didn't feel anything ominous. If anything, I wasn't scared. If the story is true, I didn't feel scared of the spirit, Annalisa. I felt incredibly sad for her. So me and my husband and one of our friends and one of the employees at the hotel were all in the room together, and we were all just walking around, you know, talking about it. And then about 10 minutes later, another hotel staff came in with another couple because they wanted to see the room too.
She checked in 1927. She was in her late 20s from San Francisco. Stayed an extended stay, so that's over 5 days. Brutally murdered in the bathtub. So they did a wellness check on her because she didn't check out. The housekeeper discovered her in the tub and reported a woman had been decapitated in the bathtub with 3 lives. Upon further examination, the head was still attached, but the slash to the throat was so gruesome that the head was hiding out of view behind the lip of the tub. A couple of crazy. I had a lady with her back to this window. She jerked her head over and she was falling. She said, "I just feel so badly for Annalisa." She jerked her head over to the right to this window, said, "Oh my God, she's right here." Just then, these curtains blew out, touched the side of the bed, lingered for 1 second, and then all together went back. And that was the moment I was like, maybe this room is good.
So the first paranormal thing that I can say happened was one of the workers said, if you ask her if she's present, she will make the pipes, you know, the pipes will start making noise. And sure enough.
Will your pipes rattling often if you ask if Annalisa is present?
You hear it?
What's happening?
And it stopped.
Have you heard that before?
Oh. Yeah.
Whoa, what happened?
She missed it.
Yeah?
He asked
Annalisa? Are you here?
Every time you said it, the pipes turned on.
Annalisa, are you here? And the pipes started rattling and going nuts. And we did not hear anything up until he said that. So even at that point, I'm freaked out, but I'm not like. Everyone was out in the living room talking about the story, talking about, you know, what the staff members had seen, and what guests have reported. And I'm in the bathroom by myself, and I have my phone, and well, you'll see it. And I ask very softly, Annalisa, are you here?
Yeah. Yep. But you can't actually.
Annalisa, are you here?
If you don't smoke, you're not going to be bothered by.
And the pipe started rattling. So I can't explain it. I mean, it could have been a coincidence, but I really hope the sound picks up when I play the clip back. But yeah, that was kind of freaky. Just another side note, this isn't really like spooky, but Al Capone actually stayed in room 311 while he was awaiting trial. So they actually replaced the metal bars on the window so he wouldn't escape. So yeah, just a little tidbit. So we did the tour, we looked around the room. The entire time I didn't want to like open up any sort of lines of communication. Like I said, I don't know if this is something that I really believe in, but at the same time, while I was in there, I did make a note to say, I'm so sorry what happened. You don't have to stay here, and you can move on. Because that's just kind of what I've always, you know, seen in movies and, you know, ghost hunters. That's what they do. So I don't know, why not? But when I came home and I watched the footage that I had taken, something really weird happened. So I'm going to play the clip and let's see if you pick up on what happened.
I think it's interesting.
Sorry?
It's just interesting.
It is. When I was a little kid, I could probably never have walked in this place.
Yeah, no,
Man in the other group was, you know, asking me if I was scared, asking me if I was nervous, asking me what I was looking for. And then as we're talking, something just kind of stopped. Like, you can hear it in the clip. I'm talking to him, and then just all of a sudden I stop. And I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't want to talk to him anymore. I can't explain why I stopped talking to him, but something just made me stop. And I have my phone pointed towards where the noise was coming from with the pipes and all that stuff. And then you hear two like really breathy gasps. And at first I assumed that was me, but now thinking back on it, why would I have gone, because you hear that very clearly, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that 110% could be me. And to this day, I don't know, and I'll never know. But it's kind of like, I don't remember ever doing that, and why would I have done that? You know, it's not like I was looking at anything or something and just happened. So, I mean, it could have been me, it could have been something else. I don't know for that for sure. I don't know. But the weird part is, everyone else, including the other guy that was talking to me, they're all in the living room. So there's the bedroom separating. So I'm in the bathroom by myself when this happens. And you can hear something whispering. And I can't explain it. I've obsessively listened to this clip over and over and over again to try to figure out what it is, where it's coming from. The only thing I can logically think of is that it's, you can hear everyone else in the living room talking, and I mean, I guess it could very well be the echo. Doesn't do that to anybody else's voice. It just, it's like everyone is talking, and then there's a faint whisper that comes up while everyone's talking. So I don't know what to make of it.
Somebody had to fully do it, though.
Yeah, but it was a long time ago, so.
Somebody had to fully do it, though.
Yeah, but it was a long time ago, so.
Oh yeah, that was my experience at the Reed Hotel and visiting room 311. You can stay in room 311 only on Thursdays in the month of October. I just started doing this because the room hasn't been available to stay in, but I mean, I guess they figured they can make money off of it, so why not? So if you are free on Thursdays, the month of October, next year, I would book it now if you have $666, because that's how much it's gonna cost you. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you've ever stayed in room 311 or if you stayed at the Reed House and knew anything about this, because I've told people this story and they've been like, I've stayed there and I had no idea about any of this. So let me know. Thank you so much. I promise new videos are coming. Just needed a little break to get re-inspired. This is not going to become a ghost hunting channel. This is so out of my element, but I just really wanted to share this story for you guys. So that is all I have. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.